So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, depending on where you are in the world. My name's Bernard Taliaferro, and I'm Rajant's Vice President of Global Channels. I'd like to welcome you to Rajant's webinar, where we're going to be introducing you to our Peregrine FE1-2255X. But before we jump into that, let me touch off on a couple of housekeeping items. First off, the webinar is being recorded. And it will be archived and posted to our various pages, allowing you and others to view this information later. We do currently have everyone except for our presenters muted, but rest assured your questions are very important to us. So we will have a question and answer session at the end of the presentation. My ask is that you type your questions in the chat box. If you go down to the bottom of the screen, you'll see the word chat down in the control panel. If you click that, it'll open up the chat panel, and then you can type your questions in there as they arise, and then we will cover off on those at the end of the presentation. We'll do our best to answer as many and all of the questions if possible. If there are some that we don't get to or don't have an answer for, we will get those answers and we will formulate a document with all the questions and answers in it and get that out to everyone that is attending the webinar. So that's it for the housekeeping. So today our presenter is none other than Rajant's product manager, Andrew Martin. Andrew has worked in many different industrial engineering backgrounds. He's has a MBA. He's been with Rajant since 2022, and he oversees Rajant's product catalog as well as the development of future Rajant offerings in the industrial markets globally. So without further ado, I want to turn things over to Andrew so that he can introduce you to our latest product. Take it away, Andrew.
Oh, great. And thank you, Bernard. Hello, everybody. That's all right. I guess Andrew Martin, Director of Product Management. And I want to go through some things today to talk about this new product that we're just announcing. And the 2255X is our latest product to join our portfolio. Uh, so I have a few things on the agenda. I'm going to talk about some of the classic things about why we've created it and why we want to promote it. We believe it's a big deal, and I'll give you some examples of what we think about it. We'll talk about the key features, highlighting some of the things that it does differently from its predecessors or other things. I'll go through a few of the tech specs. I want to talk about some deployment scenarios and some of the ways that it gets installed, some of the accessories and equipment that we recommend putting with it. And then I'll kind of summarize with some of the benefits and the value that this can bring, highlighting a bunch of things that we think we do differently. We think that can help with the general strategic value of a Rajant system and of these devices in general. And like Bernard said, please think of those questions. There's a chat at the I guess the bottom, or I think it might be at the top to select and write some questions in, and we'll go through all of them at the end. Oh, and in general, I'll probably do this for I'd say this will probably be like 15 or 20 minutes, so not a lot of just your time, and then I'll reserve some time at the end for questions. Uh, I want to make sure I'm just keeping this to a succinct information, and there'll be a good amount of information available later that we can offer on the website for some of the details that I'm going through. So starting out with some things about the problem of why we think there's something to fix. So we're looking at some of these situations where there are RF dense deployments, areas where there's a lot of Rajant equipment all in a small area, or areas where there's a lot of other equipment, other wireless equipment, also packed in with Rajant equipment. And that interference, that co-channel interference does create situations that we want to be building better solutions for. And this AX standard and the way we've implemented it into InstaMesh is really going to help with that. Uh, we are always seeking higher bandwidth applications, and with that is the need for greater throughput. And this is another challenge that we're always striving to get bigger and bolder with what we do on, let's say, a lot of teleremote with the video feeds, a lot of high bandwidth data from various applications, and we want to be able to handle large networks, large amounts with whatever they can throw at us. And then also talking about where we've been with the older standards. Wi-Fi 5, it had the multi-user MIMO on the downlink, but it didn't have anything on the uplink. It doesn't do anything with OFDMA to be able to slice up the channels to have more, I guess, simultaneous clients. And there's a lot of issues, I guess, not even listed here with the I guess the with multi-user MIMO, the the lower QAM that is in the older standards, the newer options for a high QAM like 1024, it really creates a lot more spectral efficiency. And uh, some of the spectral efficiency on the 2.4 radios, that's basically like back at the N standard. So leapfrogging now is almost two generations of improvement that we want to be capitalizing on. So with that, with those issues to look through, we're trying to build a next generation. Oh, I'm sorry, this isn't the next generation, but this is a next line in the generation of the FE1 product. So the FE1 product line started, I think it was in 2020. So we're working on 5 years now of different variations, and this is the latest. This is the based on the 802.11ax standard, which is the Wi-Fi standard that I'm sorry, the IEEE standard that Wi-Fi 6 is built on. And now we've integrated it, so now the InstaMesh standard is also built on this. Uh, Doing this with quad radios, this is four 2x2 transceivers. So in a lot of ways, this is equivalent to having two radios that would be more typical in the field, or two systems. There's so many systems that are out there that are dual radio, but this is a pretty unique thing that's a quad radio. Of course, the Peregrine's been around since the beginning of the FE1 line, but the I guess the amount of throughput, the amount of radio traffic that this thing can handle is very much our top of the line premium type of offer. Um, so I just want to also highlight that this is continuing the FE1 line and bolstering is, I mean, we're trying to make improvements to it all the time to make it industrial grade, and we build this to be an outdoor product first. It's not something that we take an indoor product and beef it up to try to make it work outdoors. It's built from the ground up to live its whole life in these harsh worlds. Um, it does it does a great job with some of the new improvements with the high capacity that we're trying to promote. It does do the improvements to the spectral efficiency with the new 1024 QAM. So there's a lot of new features in this that it's capitalizing on what it's done previously as a rugged breadcrumb, and it's definitely taking advantage of a lot of the new technology that we're, I guess, building onto that. Uh, Thinking about some of the tech, there's plenty of specs in our spec sheet that we have on the website. I just want to highlight a few things here. The bands, it's still our very typical 2.4 and 5 gig, but in addition, this radio is natively supporting the 4.9 bands. Uh, so some of the things that is useful for is on, let's say, first responders, public safety, rail. There's several markets that have access to 4.9 gig, And if our partners have use for that, and there's customers that have access to those bands, this will natively support it, and this will be a product that keep in touch with us. Talk to your local sales director about where your customers are trying to drag this product to, because we can get this certified for the different regions when there's specifics for 4.9 or for our normal uses. Couple other things to highlight. The data rates have improved a large bit, particularly because the improvement with 2.4 gig is such a big jump from what it was previously. Um, Also note, this is still using the 2x2 MIMO, and because that's two antennas for every radio, there's still 8 antenna ports around the device. Um, However, there's something I want to talk about. I'll mention in a few slides about we're trying to assist with that and make better use of the antennas and dual port antennas to make a cleaner installation. Um, Worth mentioning is this is a pretty power hungry device. These new radios and the new horsepower that's driving this thing does demand a lot of wattage. So there are higher power PoEs that go with this, or if it's being direct powered, you need to make note about what the power requirements are to not brown out this system or your own. Um, all the other stuff is very similar. It's got the same environmental ratings, got the industrial temperature. It's got extreme vibe in mind for what it's rated for. It's the weight, the dimensions, they are all very similar to what you're familiar with. Uh, I'll just highlight that there's a different document, but uh, so there's a spec sheet, and you'll be able to download this off the web page to go through the details, go see what bits you're mostly focusing on. Uh, this spec sheet has the older B model and then this newer X model all combined here, so you can see the difference between them, and you make sure you're looking at which one is most relevant for your application. So our normal spec sheets, with the front being some of the key features, and then the back pages being more the tables with inputs, outputs, and environmentals. All right. So a couple of the deployment scenarios, what I was just talking about. This is still built on the same FE1 frame and chassis, so it's still built for mobile equipment and for infrastructure, and we do promote it that way all the time. Uh, it's still recommended for all the mounts that we provide or others that our partners have designed and provided over time. So direct mount, pole mount, universal, all kinds of specialties that have been designed over time. This is still working with that same mounting footprint, all the things similar that we still recommend. Uh, I had mentioned the new higher power, so do keep that in mind as you're working on setting this up for power and all the accessories that go with it for PoEs. And mentioning PoEs, because there's going to be more power required from this, we are launching this with a new DC PoE that Rajant builds, I guess builds in-house. So that's our VHDC that's built for really rugged environments. And then we also have an AC PoE that we recommend for stuff that's more infrastructure style. Uh, and so both of those are higher wattage to handle the higher load you're going to get off of this. Uh, then on antennas, uh, like I was mentioning, yes, it's still a bunch of antennas, and yes, there still is challenges with trying to locate all those. So we are launching this with a new dual port 5 gig antenna to try and reduce the antenna count. So you have obviously two of these radios are 5 gigahertz, so there's 4 antenna ports, and you can connect those to 2 antennas that are dual port instead of having to use 4 antennas. So this will come out with that. It's obviously what we're trying to do is reduce the complexity and the scope of how much an install takes. So we have these that'll be available, and they are for the 5 GHz. Something that was mentioned on the previous session is what about the 2.4? And so we also have in development a 2.4 antenna that's going to be dual 2.4s. So we will be releasing that. I just don't have it for initial release, like when this product goes out, which is today. But in the coming weeks, we'll be talking about also having a dual port that is dual 2.4. Uh, and then just mentioning all the same typical deployment locations or markets, talking about the mining sites, infrastructure, ports, yards, construction sites. We still promote this just like we normally do, and try to see this go into wherever is, I guess, wherever we can. And then some of the value and the benefits that we want to talk about and things we want to promote about this, just some of the key talking points. The the features, and I mention this to people regularly. The features we have on the spec sheet are listed out there. Some of them we're pretty proud of. But the features are there because they create a benefit. It's something to, the higher spectral efficiency is a benefit because it supports more data with fewer devices. Uh, it's a value if you can lower the operating expenses or lower the investment that it takes to deploy these networks, because the value is going to be a cost reduction or an hours reduction, something that actually will affect your time and your customers, I guess, time and money that it takes to run their systems or run our equipment. So that's why I just wanted to mention the things here, that the value is what we try to strive for. We're trying to make sure that you can read what's on the screen, but we're trying to keep mission critical systems running, and downtime is not an option. So we are building these things to improve on latency and improve on the reliability, and that's what this new product continues to show. Um, we're also trying to make sure that this new product is backwards compatible, and it's able to have a lot of flexibility with the antennas and the way it's got its interfaces to really try to reduce the setup and time it takes to expand a network. Um, and then finally, just talking about making sure that the system is still self-healing, and we are dealing with a adaptive mesh network. That is something that continues to get improved with our firmware updates, and that is to really make the system more intelligent at the edge and reducing any manual intervention to reset up, to reconfigure a network. I think you all are probably familiar with the value of Instamesh, but this product just keeps pushing the envelope forward with not just the physical hardware, but the continued Instamesh updates that allow us to continue to make these non-deterministic networks, these self-intelligent networks, keep working the way they do. Uh, so last thing I'll just mention is, in addition to the spec sheet, and Bernard mentioned content that's on the website for our, I believe there's a banner on the front page you can click and get through to our content. Uh, but we also have the features and benefits, and a document that kind of describes the key features, the benefit of those key features, and the value that it brings. And we wrote this up with just some of the specifics I was just talking about. So this document is also available for download, and you can see some of the things that we consider some of these talking points about the product. Uh, so with that, I think I can pause and have a chance to talk back and forth about any questions you guys might have.
Great job, Andrew. So, one thing that I wanted to point out is I noticed that the data sheet that you just showed, unlike the data sheet you showed this morning, no longer carries the draft watermark. So I'm expecting that that data sheet will make its way over to me so that I can uh, upload it to the partner portal in the next day or so.
This is true. We are moments away. If I just
Excellent,
if I just get done with these nasty phone calls, I mean these great people, um, I am moments away to get this off and out to you guys for the
excellent.
site.
So that was my clever way of answering the first question that we received from my friends over in Australia. The question from Mario was, when can he get his hands on the spec sheet? So we will have that posted to the partner portal in the next day or so. I've got a question here from Ian Lockerbie. Is OFDMA supported in mesh mode?
Uh, this will be for the clients right now. This will be something that the access point mode is set up for it, and we will be working on. I guess it's stuff we'll work on for mesh mode, but for right now we're working on it as an access point mode and how it can improve the amount of clients that can connect. Um, it is interesting for what we can do with Mesh, except Mesh can already accept thousands of clients. So we're trying to rationalize what's the benefit when we add this into the Mesh protocol.
Uh, Great. So thank you, Andrew. So Brian Ellis has a question here. He asked the same question that his colleague Tyler asked earlier. Do these have the same CPU as the existing FE1s? What is the actual TCP throughput as tested?
Uh, Yes, it is the same CPU as the existing FE1. We are still using the higher end main board, but it's still the main board that we have in the other FE1s with the Peregrine. Um, that that will be something we'll be pushing hard. It's going to make that CPU run even faster than it normally has to. We do recognize that that's going to be a bottleneck in the future. The next generation products are all upgrading to some better, or at least better designs of how the CPUs I guess uh, orchestrated. Um, as for test results, I don't have those off the top of my head. Um, I do see some really good improvements on some of the 2.4 channels, 60-70% improvement on some of those typical 20 megahertz channels. But in general, I'll have to get back to you with some speed tests.
Another question that Brian had was, is a FE1 2450X in the works?
Yes, yes, and we do have a two radio, so a 2450 model in the works. Um, it's going to come out later this year. I'm working on a release date for it. Um, I don't know when it's going to be yet, and we're working on how much other stuff is going to get added into that product because that's actually trying to not just be a just a piggyback on this, but we're actually adding some more features into that as we go. So
So
stay
so when
tuned.
you so when you say later this year, are you saying within the next 3 months?
Yeah, yeah, this calendar year. Yeah,
Oh,
you'll be hearing from me a bunch in the next 3 months. Because we have one quarter left and we've got a bunch of ground to cover on several products that are about to hit the ground. Um, in fact, you'll be hearing from me next week on another one. Um, but that's the plan.
okay, excellent. So I've got a question here. Would it be possible to obtain the actual MCS performance tables, including data on RSSI, SNR, and capacity? Regarding network event notifications, will there be a mechanism to send traps to alert us about any unexpected events? Best regards from Chile.
Um, yeah, a bunch of different things. Um, I can probably I can probably break it into like, I don't know, two or three different buckets. But um, yeah, getting the MCS table, yes, we absolutely put that in the we put that in the user manual. We do we have it in the spec sheet typically? Uh, I don't think we put all the MCS in the spec sheet. We just list a few. Um, but it'll be in the user manual for sure. Uh, I guess the data on RSSI, SNR, and capacity. Uh, I'll have to check if that's in the table with those rates. And then the last point was about setting traps. So to set traps for you're looking at unexpected events. Uh, that is a feature request that is it is in the queue. I just don't have an answer for tonight as to which release that's going in. But that would be that's a feature request. Uh, actually, uh, Jorge, do work with your local sales engineer or sales director uh, because I want to make sure I'm capturing, particularly the one about uh, traps for things. I want to make sure we're capturing the different use cases that you want to use it for. Because I will tag you as a use case for this feature that's being developed, and you'll get informed as the feature goes further in the development cycle.
Excellent. So thank you very much, Andrew. Scrolling down, is BSS coloring supported in mesh mode?
BSS coloring. Oh, you got me on that one. Ian, I'm not sure what BSS coloring is. Um, Ian, you're welcome to unmute yourself and I'm happy to talk as deep as I am capable of. Um, do you have any more information about that?
Yeah, I'm kind of new to AX, but it's my understanding that you can set a color code for your network or your BSS, like your channel SSID combination, and you then can ignore weaker signals like in 802.11n there's a CSMA, and you have to basically, if you can hear somebody else, you have to be quiet and wait until the channel is free. But you can selectively say, okay, this is my network and I'm going to listen for my network, but kind of ignore weak signals from other networks. So if there's like an office or some kind of nearby weak interferer, you can kind of ignore it and just clobber it.
Okay. Okay. So kind of overruling the CSMA kind of protocol about um, I guess hear it, wait, and or hear it and then wait a random time. Um,
It's
okay.
a way to tune. It's a way to tune that and to sort of reject other networks in dense environments. Kind of
Yes.
a useful feature in uncontrolled situations.
Okay. Um, Damn, you got me on that one. I sometimes I wish I had one of our deep developers to dig into the weeds right away on it, but um, I got to get back to you. So I don't know how we're planning on rolling that one out.
Great, thank you.
But thanks for the question. I'm happy to be stumped. It's not a it's probably not that hard actually.
Um, when will we see more information about the new PoEs and antennas?
Yes. I guess you'll be looking for spec sheets and price list information, and we have our antenna selection guide and our PoE selection guide. Um, so all that content is rolling, and I'm working on getting that. Um, I guess we'll start with the um, well, it's all pretty close. It's all coming out in the next I'll say in the next week and a half. So it's all right around now. I just don't know which is going to come out first. But we're working in concert to try to get it out all around now. just the different groups kind of working together.
I'm going to say a matter of days and weeks.
That's fine. Yes.
Yep. I have a question here. What's the estimated date uh, for stock and shipping of these? From our conversations earlier today, or from our presentation earlier today, we're looking at, I think you said, a 10-week lead time. So these could be on shelves before the end of the year, mid-December.
Yep. Bernard's right. We're already partway through the build process, and I think the typical build is like about 12 weeks, but we're already several into it. So that is correct.
Excellent. So that concludes all of the questions that I see. We got another one. Joshua Sykes. I like to call Joshua instead of Josh. He knows the story. So he says, can we elaborate more on what has been done to reduce co-channel interference? I don't know if that's you, or if we would need someone like an hacker for this, but give it a shot, Andrew.
Um, Yeah, I guess the gist of it is the way InstaMesh is being deployed on the AX standard. We're implementing a lot of the things that are built into that standard in the chipset, uh, particularly stuff that comes in with I guess um, the newer. Oh man, all of a sudden it's getting late for me. There's there's a new standard that will actually be a bit better on I guess dealing with collision, dealing with our interference, in and in co-channel. Um, oh man, I answered this question this morning, I think pretty cleanly. Um, Let me actually get Dave to give a good response on you, because we've got a fair bit of work that have we're looking to make this a decent bit better.
All right, so we'll take a note to get a really good response, detailed response um, on that question as well, and we will get all of the Q&A information out to everyone that's in attendance. And I think that kind of concludes for us. I think I hit every question. Just double checking. Yep, I did a great job.
Absolutely.
Awesome, guys. So uh from the entire team at Rajant, thank you very much for taking some time out of your schedule to receive this information from us. I'd like to thank Andrew for the work that he put in to prepare this and present it. And I'd also like to thank Gizzy from the marketing department, who's behind the scenes making all of this stuff work. Hope everyone found this presentation to be useful and informative. This is some exciting technology that we're bringing to the market. And rest assured that there will be plenty more after this. So without further, ado or belaboring, I want to again thank you and ask that you try to have a great day on purpose. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.